What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. Y'all, so Love and Marriage Huntsville, they gave us a little clip that we have to look forward to for next week. And Marquez is sitting down at Black with Marsau, Scott, and Chris Fletcher. And he is letting them know that he wants to shoot his shot with Melody Shari. Now, they have a flashback really quickly, and they show him flirting with Melody at his kid's graduation party. I'm gonna let you guys hear just the little clip that Own gave us. It's not long, it's about 43 seconds. And then I'll give some commentary at the end because Marquez is a mess and a half.
I enjoyed the kids. I enjoyed the people. I got to meet everybody, in the group. Yeah. I met Melody for the first time.
No. He hit on Melody.
Melody looked good, man, in person. I ain't
trying to get at it. Oh, he tried to hit on
I got a question. No, I didn't try to do it. I got a question. Do you think Martell will have an issue if I asked her out?
They're not together.
So they're be good. So can you set that up?
How can I set that up, Marquez?
Never mind. I'll figure it out.
He had a blushing now. I will say that.
Hey, maybe y'all can hook me up. Melody?
Okay, so that was Nell Fletcher, her little shriek. Nell is just as loud and cute as she want to be. But let's go ahead and rewind that a little bit, right? So Marquez is somebody who, child, that level of blissful ignorance and delusion, it looks peaceful. You know that old saying, ignorance is bliss? He is blissful because why would he feel the need to ask Marsau, first of all, to hook him up with Melody? He's like, can you set that up for me? No, sir. You are a grown man. Like, the fact that Melody brought your kids, right? That he felt that he needed to announce at the graduation party. Mel brought your kids a graduation gift, 2 envelopes. Sir, you showed up empty-handed, and these are your children. Your biological responsibility, not Melody. She has 4 of her own. The fact that, he wants to shoot his shot, he wants to get with Mel, I can understand that, right? She's very successful. She is doing her thing on TikTok and with 7th Avenue Beauty. She's also selling courses in regards to like real estate and property preservation. She has a lot going on. But Melody, in my opinion, and this is just, I don't know her personally, but from what I have learned about her and watching her throughout the years and hearing her lives and things like that, she strikes me as someone who does not seem to be interested in moving backwards. And I feel like Marquez, for him to even have asked Marsau, 1, to hook him up with Melody, 2, if Martell would have an issue with that. Even at the graduation, when he's like, y'all go ahead and hook that up. And they're like, with who? And he said, Melody. And she laughed. Nell was squealing because she said that Melody was blushing. I don't think Melody was blushing. Or if she was blushing, she was probably blushing out of embarrassment. Because she didn't want to impugn Marquez's dignity more than he already had, right? So he shows up empty-handed at his kid's graduation. I think Trish already told Mel, if I'm not mistaken, that her and Ken had to give him like gas money or whatever to even get there. Then when he gets there, he shows up empty-handed. Then he's taking shots of these people's liquor that he did not put in on, okay? Then he makes an announcement to everyone that, and I'm sure most of the people already knew, that those are his children, not Ken's biologically, although Ken is the one who's footing the bill and essentially taking care of his family that he abandoned. The consciousness is not there. The recognition that he abandoned his wife and his children, it's just completely gone over his head. Melody is someone who was done wrong by her ex-husband. There's no way that she would move backwards and regress like that, dating someone who has such a poor character development, in my opinion. Like I said, Marquez has a lot in common with Martell. They're both bald-headed. They both have the audacity. They're actually both physically attractive men, but the lack of self-awareness is astounding to me. They are two peas in a pod. They have, these children that they are, I guess, looking or expecting, the women in their lives, their ex-wives, to take care of. I just, who knows what he was doing in Atlanta, but when Trish needed him the most, when her, close family members passed away, he up and left. He couldn't handle the pressure of being her emotional support, her husband and a father. And he left his family, and now he's upset at Ken for filling in that role. And it's like, there's no way that Melody would have enough respect for you because you're negligent in your responsibility. She's heard Trish talk all about it. She was even grilling Trish, last episode, I think, about the quote unquote training session that, she did with Martell 4 years ago, or now 5 years ago. Shout out to 2025. But I feel like Mel was probably trying really hard to, while it was flattering for him to express interest in front of everybody, she was probably trying to not embarrass him, help him have just a shred of dignity. This man has like zero self-awareness, very handsome and very clueless. It's just, and passive on top of everything else. Marsau's like, why would I set that up? Like, why would you expect me to handle that for you? Sir, you need to be able to handle your business. And Chris is just as messy as he wants to be. Now, Chris Fletcher, almost every single episode we see of him now, and I don't know if it's the producers in his ear or what, but he is messy. In earlier seasons, when him and Nell were just friends of the show, and again, it could be just the way the show was edited, but he seemed to be someone who was, quiet and more preserved. And now, again, I don't know if it's because they're full time or what, but Chris is messy. Chris is messy. He is messy boots. I feel like he's even more messy than his wife, Nell. Like, Nell is loud, but in my opinion, I feel like she means well. She has a heart of gold. She's someone who, wants to be included and wants to be, I don't know. She reminds me of like an old school auntie type. Chris is just, yeah, he's messy. But Marquez, I don't, if I was a guy, if I was in his position specifically, right, like especially financially, because Mel is a multimillionaire. So, and she's single, right? So it makes sense why he would shoot his shot. But I don't think that she would be interested in someone with such, in my opinion, little ambition, right? Because again, what does Marquez do for a living? Do we even know? We don't even know his last name. That's why I didn't put it on here. But we don't know anything really about him except the fact that he's negligent or he walked out on his now ex-wife and kids. He, pops up every now and then, but we don't really know anything other than the fact that he's interested in Melody. And it's like, okay, well, if you were to date Melody, where could you take her? What could you do for her and her children? What are you bringing to the table? You see that Melody has created her own table. She's created her own business, multiple businesses actually, right? She is an entrepreneur. She is on the grind. She's on TikTok. She's on, Instagram Live. She's having what is it? Mimosas with Melody. So essentially you know, that business, I guess Marsau and Tisha said that it reminded them of the Black Business Expo. But she likes to get people together. She likes to give back to the community, right? So she had, different events that she was doing, giving away the dinners, right? The pasta spaghetti dinners with Dr. Shanita. So it's like, Marquez, what can you add to that? What can you bring to Melody's life? The fact that he is completely just clueless. I mean, I don't know. It shocks me. Like, what is he doing with his time here on Earth? And what would he expect to add? Like, what value would he generate? Or, you know what I mean? What would he expect to add to Melody's life? You can see her kind of shake her head when she's sitting at the table and she kind of looks down. She looks embarrassed for him, very sweet guy. I don't think that he's, not necessarily a nice guy. But I just, I don't see them being equally yoked. I don't see them having really anything in common. Because he doesn't seem to be very ambitious, and she is, Like I said, the fact that Trish, has been an engineer for the past 18 years is very impressive. And the fact that she now wants to go into fitness full time as an entrepreneur, very impressive. We don't know really anything that Marquez does except pop up on Love and Marriage Huntsville every now and then and tries to essentially, shoot his shot at ambitious women. The fact that he was married to, Trish and she was an engineer, that's impressive. But it's like, what are you bringing to the table? What are you doing? We need to find out more about him. I know, I think they said his handle on Instagram is like Make It Happen, Mr. Make It Happen 365 or something like that. Okay, well, what are you making happen? Like, what is your business? What are you doing? What are you making happen? 365. Like, today is number 2 in the 365. We need to know a bit more about you. But anyway, it's Melody's call, obviously, to make. But the fact that he would even ask Marsau to hook him up, he's not taking that step, that active step to ask someone out. It just strikes me as someone who is just, he seems to be ill prepared for the dating world. I feel like if he got himself together a little bit more before he started reaching out or wanting to be in relationships, like he needs to get his own house in order first so that he can step correctly to whatever woman that he's pursuing, not trying to use Marsau or anyone else as a middleman. And then Martell, they've been divorced for years. She doesn't answer to Martell, and if anything, she has a restraining order against him, I believe. But anyway, I just thought this was interesting. That Marquez is, trying to shoot his shot at Melody. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Listen, I could be wrong, I mean, the heart wants what the heart wants, I guess, but we will see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.